Okay, first off, we're just adding and subtracting polynomials. Yesterday, the main thing was adding them together, so this is a continuation. But now I'm just giving you the rules and suggestions for subtracting these polynomials. Okay. So as we're writing that down, who has seen this root poly? What's another word that the root has a poly in it? And I'll try to guess it because this is fun for me. Anybody? Yeah? Polygon, multiple sides. Good, Heather. Oh, dang. Anyone else? Come on, second period got like 6.
Wait, what did it say? Polygon?
Polytheistic.
Polytheistic, multiple god, like the Greek system has multiple gods. What's another root? What's a word that has a root of poly in it? Polymers, okay, like molecules that are
We can think of Polygon.
polytheistic, multiple god.
Wait, wasn't that like a Pokemon?
All right, that's good. That's all? Yeah. No, someone else brought that up before. Has to have the word poly in it. No, but that doesn't work the same way. Wow. Very creative.
Is it pronounced as poly?
Poly.
Okay.
All right, I hear too much talking in the back. All right, we will hold up.
Yeah.
Okay, so if this is helpful with these notes for positive and negatives, I need you to jot those down. The main key point of this when we're dealing with subtracting polynomials is we're going to have to distribute the negative. Okay, so that's like a key step. That's the main thing that we are adding on to what we do today compared to yesterday. So I'm just going to throw an example to start. And use my hint. What am I going to do with this negative value on the outside of the parentheses? Distribute it. So I'm taking the negative, I'm applying it through multiplication to the x and to the negative 7. I apply it to all the terms. Would it make a difference if I had 6 terms within the parentheses?
No.
I would still distribute that to every single one of them. So making sure we do that. Negative times a positive x. We look up here if you forget. We're going to get the negative x. How about the negative times the negative 7? Positive 7. Everybody pretty good with arriving at that problem?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I'd like for you to do this as a group. I'll give you 1 minute. Go ahead and distribute that negative 2. Now it just has a 2 value into each of those terms.
Okay, what did I say?
Okay, check with your neighbor, make sure that you're on track. All right, I'm going to call on group. Let's go with Papa Smurfs. That's the wrong class. That's a good name though, right?
Yeah, check with her. And
all right, let's go with the rich, angry aliens.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, somebody from your group, go and lead me through this. What are we going to do?
So we distribute the negative 2 to the x squared and the x and the negative 10.
Good. What are we going to get for the first term? Negative?
Negative 2x squared minus 2x plus 20.
All right. Is everybody pretty comfortable with distribution? So nothing in these lessons is too complicated. There's just small little baby steps, and we have to make sure we get them all in a row. And you got to show me your work. So if it's a complaint to have to write down too fast, it takes 1 second to write this down, maybe 2. Okay. So just do the extra task. You don't want to shortchange yourself. I want everyone to get all the work points, even if you don't get the right answer. Okay, so we're going to now move on to creating our steps for adding and subtracting polynomials. And part of it we already know. So this first part here we did yesterday. So polynomials, we're going to go ahead and when we're adding them, I'm going to make it real easy. You're going to drop your parentheses. Drop your parentheses first. And then what we have to do is combine like terms. All right. Drop the parentheses, combine like terms. This is what we did yesterday. Combine like terms.
What did I do yesterday?
Yesterday was Math Mission Impossible.
Oh, okay. Alright.
All right. When we subtracted, we really only have one extra step. And that starts by, we're going to end up with something that looks like this. Let's just make it easy. So we can't just drop the parentheses because we have to remember that this negative sign here, everything that follows it is connected to it. Everything that follows it has to have the negative applied to it. So the first step is, good, I heard it, distribute
Nobody said it.
the
There you go.
negative. All right. We're going to distribute the negative, and I'll do that right here. The first step was distribute this to those terms on the inside. Now we end up with x plus 5 minus x minus 10. I don't mind if you jump from distributing to all the way to the place where the parentheses are dropped. You're going to see those two steps are kind of really baby steps, but I want to show all of them right now.
Okay.
So we distributed the negative, then we're going to be right back into our other process. All we're going to do is drop the parentheses. Magically gone. And what do we have to do? What's the last thing we have to do with this problem? You know. All right, the last one is just combine like terms.
Awesome.
So to do so, great. Let's look here. Good example here, because we have positive x and we have negative x. You all right?
My answer.
So when you have a positive x and a negative x, what happens to that term?
They cancel each other out.
Cancels each other out. This is positive 1, negative 1. Cancels out. What's left over? 5, negative 10. So think of Mr. Pasillas swimming 10 feet underwater. My jetpack's kind of broken, so I plus 5. Doesn't get me out of the water. Better have
Oh, dear.
some kind of plan. We end up with negative 5. So I was underwater here at negative 10. I went up 5. Now I'm here at negative 5. I'm really flat. I'm like, what's this side? Okay, any questions with how we got to negative 5? Is that pretty straightforward? Yeah. We're going to do one sample problem from the workbook. So in the workbook, you can turn right to it if you like. It's going to be number 2. So let's go ahead and look at that on page 33.
Oh. It's a homework. Or
Okay. So with this one, you know what? It is positive. So we would just be dropping the parentheses and combining terms. I want to make this a little bit more challenging. So this isn't exactly number 2. I'm using it to give us a negative subtraction problem. So first step, let's distribute the negative into all terms that it's connected to. Just like reading left to right, these terms on the inside of the parentheses, we're going to apply that negative to get negative x to the 4th minus 12x. I'm going to go ahead and drop the parenthesis of that left polynomial. And then what can we combine? What's up here that we can combine?
4x and negative 12x.
Good.
Negative 4x.
Negative 4x, negative 12x. We end up with?
Negative 16x.
Good. Okay. Is there anything else I can combine?
No.
Yeah, question? Oh, wait, never mind. No. Okay. So if I can't combine anything else, I'm going to show you the order that we're going to put this in. And then I want somebody to go ahead and tell me why I did it in this specific order.
I don't know why, but I just do it.
You just do it. So it's instinctual.
Yeah.
So we're going to break down the instincts. What do you have?
I think you do it because the higher the variable is, the farther up you put it, and put variables is the normal number.
Least to greatest. Greatest to least.
Perfect. So what you mentioned is based on the degree value, we're going to start with the greatest degree and move downward. You see here we have the 4th degree, 3rd degree. There's no 2nd degree. There's nothing squared. 1st degree, and then always the coefficient, the number, not coefficient, just the
Absolute
the
value.
constant. Not absolute value.
Yeah,
Not absolute.
yeah, that's true.
Okay. Are we good to go with this? I think this is pretty straightforward compared to yesterday. We have one other step, so I'm going to push stop.